going to hand it over actually to David to describe one of the best scenes in the film. The famous scene with the quote. David. Well, I'll wait for the quote. I'll let you do it. But go for it.
So yeah, this was the scene. This was the scene that turned me on to the movie in the beginning.
It's a great meme.
So basically, we have Lionel going to his mother's grave because she's been buried.
Yes.
And he's trying to dig her up, presumably so he can trank her again. So
he knows she's coming back.
So she'll be trapped under the earth or something, I'm assuming. But while he's trying to dig her up, some,
hooligans.
1950s style hooligans.
Yes.
Who are, up to no good in this graveyard in the middle of the night, happen to catch him, and they think he's some kind of weird freak, like a necrophiliac or something. So they proceed to, try to beat him up. And while the leader of the group goes to take a whiz on the mother's grave while all of his cronies are beating Lionel up.
He is surprised.
As he's doing this, well, the mother wakes up and her hand shoots out of the earth and grabs him by the kiwis, so to speak. That's from Wynonna's Big Brown Beaver, the Primus song.
Oh, the kiwis.
Grabs him by the kiwis and
proceeds to kill him.
Pulls him down and
he does.
Pulls him down and kills him, and
then launches him out.
Yeah, like boosh, and his body goes flying, and she comes up out of the earth and like bites and devours all these
hooligans.
Yes, and they die. And then all of a sudden, they start rising from the dead and become zombies themselves. And Lionel is faced with an army of them. And then out of nowhere, I guess he was taking a leisurely stroll or something.
He does live there.
No, he runs out of the house and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
what in
yeah,
God's name is going on here?"
Oh, that's right. He lives there.
He lives there. Yeah.
So he runs out of the house. And he's like,
the devil is amongst us.
Yeah, that's right. He says the devil is amongst us,
and he jumps on top of a gravestone that they're cornering Lionel, and he jumps on. He's like, the devil is amongst us, and then he jumps down and starts beating them up.
Well, before that,
you go.
He jumps up. He says, the devil is amongst us, and he jumps down. He's like, this calls for divine intervention. And then he starts doing kung fu on the zombies, beating the crap out of them, and like really, really over the top.
Yes.
Like this
Chun-Li kicking these guys.
Like this was 1990s action.
Like this would put the the classic campy kung fu movies. This puts them to shame.
It does.
And so after a little bit of ass beating that he hands to these zombies, he turns and he looks off past the camera and he's like, "Oh, I kick ass for the Lord." And he continues.
And literally the best line in the whole movie. It's so great.
He's ripping their arms off, and it's like over the top, and he's just.
What did you do before this, Father McTavish? What did you do?
The sound effects. The camera, he like ducks down and like sweeps the leg of one zombie and knocks both of his legs off.
Yeah, like turns him into just a torso.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason, this scene like takes a weird turn. Like he's kicking their butts, and then he just like the head of one of the zombies that he's dismembered flies up in the air and lands on his shoulder and bites him.
Yes, the dismembered head bites him and he gets infected.
Which distracts him, and he trips and impales himself on a finger.
He jumps toward the zombie and does a flying kick. Like
that's right.
The most strongest kick he's ever going to do in his life.
That's right.
And then he trips over the zombie in the air.
Yes, that's right. He trips over the zombie in the air and lands on a stone finger pointing up and is impaled.
Yes.
And then
and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna kind of summarize this next part.
Well, yeah, but what do you got?
But this scene was the best thing in the whole movie.
One of the
After this, there is nothing good.
Well, I would say
this that's
scene,
part of the genre.
Yeah, and I would say this scene is like the most over the top. Well, you get the end. The end's pretty over the top, but it's one of the standouts of the film. We'll put it that way.
Yes, and that was like worth understanding the context just for this scene with the 90s roundhouse kicks. And you're just like, I don't know why this is in here.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch some of the really bad movies Riff Trax has done, like Samurai Cop and whatnot, where it's just like
why is this in here?
Why is this part of the cultural zeitgeist of the moment? I don't know why.